Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope you are doing very well. Guys, today we're gonna talk about food chains and food webs. What is food chain and what is food web? And what is the difference between them? So let's see. Bismillah. Guys, the first thing we have to know, for understanding food chain and food web, some things are necessary, okay? So you have to know them, then you can understand the others. Okay, let's see what are they. First is herbivore, which is an animal that eats only plants. Okay, plants, grass, these things. Okay, autotrophs, the things that they make food for themselves, like the rabbit. Rabbit is a herbivore. That it means it only eats plants like grass. Okay, these things, vegetables, fruit. We call them herbivore. So, and we have carnivore. Carnivore is an animal that it eats only animals, or we can say meat. It's only meat, like the lion. Lion eats only meat. You will never see a lion that eats grass or a plant. So, and we have something else, omnivore, which is an animal that eats both plants and meat. Okay, we said herbivore is it will eat only plants, and carnivore eats only meat. But omnivore eats both plants and meat. And we have bear, which is an example for omnivore. Also, human is also an example for omnivore. It's both. We are eating vegetables, fruit, like these things, and also we are eating meat, right? So then, guys, after these things that you have to know that we need for food chain, we have two main things in the food chain. You have to know them. One is producer, which is producer is the living things that makes food for themselves. Okay, so producers are the living things that make food for themselves. So, like this, the picture you see, like grass, leaf, it's a part of plant. The plant, you see, vegetables. So these are called producers. Okay, why? Because they will make food for themselves. They are not depending others to stay alive. They are going to make food for themselves to stay alive. So they will take energy from the sunlight and they will change it to food for themselves. That's why we call them producer. Then after producer we have consumer. Consumer is any living thing that is any living thing that must eat others to get energy. It means it's a living thing that cannot make food for itself. It has to eat others to get energy. For example, the cow, the elephant, they are going to eat the grass, the plant, other things to get energy, right? So without them, they are not going to stay alive, right? They will die. They need to eat others to get energy to stay alive. But the plants and we can say vegetables, grass, these things are not going to eat anything to stay alive. They are going to take the energy from sun, then they will change this sunlight to food for themselves. They are going to make food for themselves, but these animals are not going to make food for themselves. They are going to eat others to get energy. So you see the picture, right? The shape here. I think here's the goat. So the goat has the grass. Guys, so herbivore is the animal that eats only plants. Carnivore, the animal that eats only meat. Omnivore, the animals that eat both plants and animals. We can say plants and meat. And then the two main things for the food chain is or what? Producer is the living things that makes food for itself, and consumer that is any living thing that must eat others to get energy. If you see any living thing that it's eating others to get energy, this is a consumer, okay? Consumer. So let's go for the detail. So these are the information that we said we have to know. I just put this type to not forget, okay? So herbivore, carnivore, omnivore, producer, and consumer. So let's go for them. Food chain. Guys, what is food chain? Food chain is a diagram shows us which animal eats plants and other animals to get energy. It means we must have an animal that this animal will eat plants or grass or another animal to get energy. It means this diagram will show us which one will eat which one to get the energy. Okay, this diagram we call this food chain because this is like a chain. Okay, for example, if you look here, you see producer, the arrow is for the consumer, right? So the grass for the zebra. So it means the zebra will eat the grass. Guys, first you have to know something about this arrow. I just mentioned here. The arrows show the direction in which the energy is transferred, okay? So it means don't confuse like that. Some students will confuse like this. They said, oh, the arrow is like that. It means this one will eat the other one. No, this arrow is not going to show us which one eats the other one. The arrow will show us energy move from where to where. It means in here, the arrow is from left to right, right? You see, right? From left to right. It means energy move from left to right, from producer to consumer. So, and here, it's from left to right. It means energy moves from grass to zebra. What does it mean? Energy moves from grass to zebra. It means the zebra will eat the grass. So, and each food chain must contain at least a producer and a consumer. Without a producer and a consumer, we will not have any food chain. We must have these two. I told you from in the previous slide. I said these two are the main things for the food chain. We must have them. Without these two, we don't have food chain. And by the way, the first one is always producer, guys. The first one must be a producer. If we take any food chain, the first one is the producer. Why? Because the first one will provide energy for the others. So it must be producer because only producer can make energy, can make food. The others cannot make food. We said in the previous slide, and it's also here, producer is the living thing that makes food for itself. We have only producer that makes food. The others cannot make food, okay? So they have to eat others to get energy. They cannot make food. That's why the first one must be producer to make food, and this food will transfer one by one from one animal to another animal, this animal to another animal else, okay? So that's why you have to know the first one always, the first one must be producer, okay? Always. So energy, look here, energy always transfers from the producer to the consumer. It means from the grass to the zebra, not the zebra to the grass. So you see, from producer to the consumer. Why? Because the consumer eats the producer. Because the consumer eats the producer. The zebra eats the grass. That's why the energy transfer from the grass to the zebra. Which one eats the other one will get the energy. Of course, right? It's like that. And if you look here, guys, you see the leaf. If you look the arrow, you will, guys. By the way, Don't confuse by the name of the animal. Even if you don't know the name of the animals, the arrows are going to tell us which one will eat the other one. Leave the name of the animals. Okay, let's say we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that. Okay, let's say we don't have name of the animals. We say where energy moves from what to what, from A to B or B to D, D to F. Okay, leave the name, just focus the arrows. Okay, for example, in here the arrow is going to tell us that energy moves from left to right. You see, to right, it means from leaf to the caterpillar. And also here is same, the arrow is going to tell us that energy moves from left to right. It means from the caterpillar to the chameleon, right? And this arrow is different, is to bottom, from up to down. You see, the arrow is going to tell us that the energy moves from up to down. What do we have in the above, the up? We have chameleon. With down, snake. The bottom, we have snake. So it means energy moves from chameleon to the snake. You see, the arrow is going to guide us to know what does happen to the energy. Where does it go? Then in here, the arrow is going to tell us energy moves from left to right. Right to left. In other one, we said left to right, left to the caterpillar. But now, right to left. Look at the arrow. Right to left. It means from the snake to the mongoose. Okay, to the mongoose, guys. That's it. And we have an energy pyramid. So if you look here, you see that energy, the first one is producer. You see, grass, plants, flowers. You see, we said the first one must be producer. Then after producer, we have herbivore, right? Because herbivore is going to eat the producers. We said herbivores are the animals that eat only plants, only grass, only fruit, flower, vegetables, anything like that. It means producers. So the herbivores are going to eat the producers. It means the first, what do you call? The first consumer is what? Herbivore. In here is herbivore. It might be omnivore. But guys, you have to know something. You will never have a food chain that the first consumer will be carnivore. Never. You can never have a consumer, have a food chain that the first consumer, after grass and the flower, it means the first consumer, right? Because we have producer, then consumer. We can have more consumer, okay? We can have first, second, third, fourth consumers, you see? So, but guys, we must have a producer and a consumer. And we can have only one producer in food chain, but we can have more consumer. We can have one consumer, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 10 consumers. Okay? So it means, but you have to know that the first consumer can never be carnivore. Why? This is a good question. I want to leave it for you, but okay, I will tell you. I'm not going to leave it for you. Guys, the first consumer can never be carnivore. Why? Because we said carnivore is an animal that eats only meat. But how the first consumer can eat meat here? There's no meat, right? We said the first one is producer, and producer is not meat, right? That's why we won't have a carnivore here, because the first consumer must eat grass. It means it can be it might be herbivore or omnivore, because omnivore eats both. That's why it has it might be this, but mostly the first consumer is herbivore. Okay, the first consumer is herbivore, but the second consumer and third and others can be carnivore. It's okay to be carnivore, but the first consumer can never be carnivore. If you look here, you see the first one is producer, then leave these names, guys. Primary, consumer, secondary, tertiary, leave them, okay? Let's say first consumer, second, third, like this, okay? So first one is producer. After producer, we have consumer, second consumer, third consumer. You see, we can have fourth, fifth, continuously, okay? So as we said that the first consumer must be herbivore or omnivore. So guys, here's something. If you look here, that it's gonna go up one by one. The rabbit is going to eat the grass, and the snake is going to eat the rabbit, and the eagle is going to eat the snake. So energy transfer from the grass to the rabbit, from the rabbit to the snake, from the snake to the eagle. This is called food chain, guys. When we say chain, it means it's one by one. It will go from one animal to another, one to another, one to another else. You see, for example, in here, the energy transfer. You see, energy transfer from the producer to the first consumer, from the first consumer to the second consumer, from the second consumer to the third consumer. So that's why we said energy transfer. In a food chain, because energy transfer like a chain from one to the next, one to the next, this one to the next one by one it will be transferred. That's why we call them energy transfer. And guys, we have food web, which is not much like say we can say different from the food chain. Only something is here different. Food web is linking of some food chains, or we can say food web is the combination of some food chains. It means we have food chain, okay? We had it here. We had food chain here, like this, right? And this is a food chain from this to this to the next one, and this is the food chain. We had this food chain, okay? This is a chain, only one line, okay? This is chain, but food web is combination of some food chains. Okay, let's see here. From the jackfruit to the fruit bat, from the fruit bat to the hawk. Okay, this is a food chain. From this to this, from this to this. You see, this is a food chain. Okay, this is only one food chain is here, and also jackfruit to the orangnut, and the orangnut to the python. You see, sorry, yeah, it's like that. Jackfruit to the fruit bat to the hawk. It is a food chain. And jackfruit to the orangutan, and the orangutan to the python is another food chain. Jackfruit to the orangutan to the tiger is another food chain. You see, just follow the arrows. You can find the food chains. Here is another food chain. So here is another food chain. According to the arrows, you can find the food chains. Okay, it means linking. This is one food chain. This is the second one. This is the third one. And here also, the fig to the orangutan, and the orangutan to the python, or the fig to the orangutan to the tiger, or the palm shoot to the palm shoot to the fruit bat, and fruit bat to the hawk, and or we can say palm shoot to the fruit bat, or fruit bat to the python, and we can say palm shoot to the coconut palm barrel, and coconut palm barrel to the orangutan, and orangutan to the python, or palm shoot to the coconut palm barrel to orangutan, then orangutan to the tiger. This is another food chain. Or palm shoot to the spotted deer, and the spotted deer to the tiger, or we can say palm shoot to the spotted deer to the python. You see, this is one food chain. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. and this is 8, this is 9, this is 10, this is 11, this is 12, this is 13. You see, I could find just 13 food chains here. That's why we said combination of food chains, linking food chains. We just link it some food chains, 13 food chains, to make this food web. This is called food web. It's not a chain. Chain is only one. Like, for example, jackfruit to the fruit bat, then fruit bat to the hawk. Okay, so this is a chain, one line. Okay, from something to another to another to another. It means not multiple direction. For example, if you look here, most animals in a food web are part of more than one food chain. What does it mean? It means in food chain, each animal will participate in one, as one time will participate. Like what? Like if we forget the other parts, we say jackfruit to the fruit bat to the hawk. It means only one, right? Jackfruit to one thing and fruit bat to one thing else, not multiple direction to the other sides. But in food web, you see the fruit bat will be food for the hawk, and there will be food for the python, and orangutan will be food for the python and food for the tiger, and the palm shoot will be food for the orangutan, for the coconut palm beetle, for the spotted deer, for the fruit bat, and the fig will be food for the orangutan and for the fruit bat, and the jackfruit will be food for the fruit bat and for the orangutan, and the spotted deer will be food for the tiger and the python. So these things, you see that the multiple direction, it means they are part of more than one food chain. For example, look here. Let's give another example. Let's just count the fig. Okay, the fig is a part of this food chain. Fig to fruit bat to the hawk. This is one food chain. Fig to the fruit bat to the python. This is the second. Fig to the orangutan to the python. 3. Fig to the orangutan to the tiger. You see, the fig has participated in 4 food chains in this food web. That's why we said most animals in a food web are part of more than one food chain. The fig has participated in 4 food chains here. Let's count another one. The jackfruit to the fruit bat, then to the hawk. This is 1. Jackfruit to the fruit bat to the fruit bat to the python. 2. Jackfruit to the orangutan to the python. 3. Jackfruit to the orangutan to the tiger. 4. You see, the jackfruit too participated into 4 food chains. Let's go for the palm shoot. Palm shoot to the coconut palm beetle, then to the orangutan, then to the tiger. 1. Palm shoot to the coconut palm beetle, then to the orangutan, then to the python. 2. Palm shoot to the spotted deer to the deer to the tiger. 3. Palm shoot to the spotted deer to the python. 4. Palm shoot to the fruit bat to the hawk. 5. Palm shoot to the fruit bat to the python. 6. You see? Then palm shoot to the orangutan to the python. 7. Palm shoot to the orangutan to the tiger. 8. Did you see this? Only palm shoot has participated in 8 food chains. 8 food chains. That's why we say most animals in a food web are part of more than one food chain. Some of them part of 8 food chains, like palm shoot. Some parts of 4 food chains, like fig. Some parts of 4 food chains, like jackfruit. Some parts of like this barrel also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This fruit bat can be participated in 5 to 6 food chains. If you count if you just follow the arrows, you can find how many food chains did they participate in. So you see they part for. So that's why we said we can say food web is the food chain but some more complex. Okay, so food web is the combination of food chains. Linking some food chains, combining some food chains will be food web. So, and food web is more realistic and accurate way to show how energy is transferred between living things. Why it's more realistic? Why it's more accurate? Why? Because in a food chain, we just know about jackfruit to fruit bat then to the hog. It means this is simple, and we didn't get much information about each or any of them. Because, for example, if we say this, maybe we think that fruit bat only eats jackfruit. But if we see a food web, we know that fruit bat eats jackfruit, fruit bat eats fig, fruit bat eats palm shoot. You see? So that's why this one is more detailed. Food web is more detailed. We can know more about the animals. We can see the realistic. We can see the real transferring energy. Because the energy will transfer in many ways. Food chain will show us only one way, from this one to this one to another one. You see, one by one, only a chain. But food web will show us in moving energy in different direction. That's it, guys. Just I will summarize and review it. As we said, these are necessary for food chain. Herbivore, which is an animal that eats only plants. Carnivore, which is an animal that eats only meat. Omnivore, which is an animal that eats both plants and animal, or we can say meat. Sorry. Producer is the living things that makes food for itself. I mean, it can make food for itself. It doesn't depend others. And consumer is any living things that must eat others to get energy. It cannot make food for itself. And we said food chain is a diagram that shows us which animal eats plants and other animals to get energy. It means it's a diagram, like this is diagram, this is a diagram. And also you can make it by names, you can make it by pictures, by anything. Just you will make the diagram. And the arrows are going to show us the direction of transferring energy. So the arrows are going to show us the direction of transferring energy, as we said, from which side to which one to the another one. And we said that the first one must be producer, the others will be consumer, and the first consumer can never be carnivore. And that's it. The zebra will eat the grass and get the energy from the grass. Sorry. And food web, we said it's food web is linking of some food chains, or we can say food web is the combination of some food chains. As I showed you here, we said we have many food chains here, but we have linked them, we have combined them. That's why we made a food web of them. And this is more realistic. That's why we say, because it shows us that energy moves in different directions. It's not only one way like food chain. And most animals in food web are part of more than one food chain. Okay, it means in food web most of the animals can participate in different food chains. As I showed you, that palm shoot will participate in 8 food chains, fig in 4 food chains, jackfruit in 4 food chains, bat in about 5 to 6 food chains. So orangutan, of course, many food chains. This one is too much. So each of them can participate in different food chains. That's all about food chain and food web. I hope you understand. If you have any questions, you can just ask me. I will answer you, inshallah. Best wishes.